It's not on, Ted. 82 years old. If I get my hands on the bastard who did it.
Let's step outside for a minute.
Gave her a good ticking off, did you?
Eh?
For parking like that.
She was lost.
Lost and blonde, your favourite combination, Dave.
Not always.
Are you absolutely certain you can't remember anything else? What about his clothes?
I'm sorry, Ted. It all happened so quickly, and when I saw Mum...
Yeah, it's okay, I understand.
You took your time.
I've only just heard.
You remember my sister Mary, don't you?
Where's Mom? How is she?
Not good.
Her face looks like a punch bag.
She's going to be okay. That's the main thing.
I don't understand. What kind of a person does that to an old woman?
Alistair, any news on Stan Thorn's mum?
Ted's down there now. This Stan Thorn, some sort of local hero, is he?
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that, no.
What, only parted seas on Tuesdays?
Stan took Ted under his wing when he was first flat-footing. You know, lent a sympathetic ear when his marriage broke up.
Copper's copper?
Well, hardly. He was more of a 9-to-5er. He always seemed happier when he was tinkering around in his garden he did behind the charge desk. Decent bloke, though. I mean, good with old folk.
Sounds like a cue for Esther Ransom.
Well, he did dote on his mum.
Definitely a cue for Esther Ransom.
Oh.
I'm not really happy about leaving her, Ted.
It's only for a while, Stan. Just see if we can jog your memory. Mary will call you if you'll need it.
Got anything?
No.
What about...
Just run it by me one more time, Stan. Last night you went out at 10 o'clock, right?
Just for a walk. It's been 7 years since I packed it in to look after Mum, Ted. She hasn't got any better. I just need half an hour to myself sometimes, just to clear my head.
I was wondering if whoever did it could have been watching the house, that's all.
Waiting for me to leave?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I doubt it. Besides, you'd have no way of knowing when I'd be back.
Well, a good pro only needs a few minutes.
A good pro doesn't beat up old ladies.
After the rigs, I decided to do the old rucksack bit. You know, touring on the cheap. I always fancied India, so...
Like it?
I'm not really sure. It was full of old hippies, I remember that. The rest is just a sort of orange blur. I don't know, maybe I was expecting too much.
Should have settled for diarrhea, Dave, like everyone else.
Wait! Wait!
Thank you, Beth.
Wait! Hey! 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 Can you help? There's been an accident. A little girl's got herself trapped down some kind of underground piping.
Any luck? What about the neighbours?
No one saw or heard a thing. Ted, a bloke turned up about half an hour ago. It was a bit of an odd one. Said he was redecorating.
Oh, he is.
You know him?
He sold Tom Adams' son, Billy. You remember the boxer?
One round Adams.
And since my back went, he's done the place a couple of times. But he's a good lad, but he's a bit slow. You know, punchy.
Who is he?
Ted, don't give him a hard time. He won't have had anything to do with this.
I just want to talk to him, Stan, that's all.
I'm always telling them not to play there, but you know what?
This is it, yeah?
Yes, it's just up there. This is so dangerous, this place. Look at all this rubbish.
Look, just calm down, yeah? Now, what is it, an old air raid shelter, yeah?
It's piped to the waterboard.
You're right.
For a factory that never
What's
got
your name?
built.
Emma. Can you touch her, Emma?
No. I've reported it to the council a dozen times, but nothing ever gets done.
But she is down there?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear her. She's crying. Is she your sister?
Yes.
What's her name?
Natasha.
Natasha, you all right? We'll get you out, don't worry. How old is she?
7.
How did it happen?
Apparently some older kids were teasing her. She hid in there. Next thing, it caved in like a mine shaft.
Dave, get onto the nick. We're going to need the brigade and an ambulance.
I always said this would happen, but no one wanted to listen.
Sierra Oscar from 340, over.
Do you always leave the key in the lock like that?
I do forget sometimes.
There's one thing that struck me. It could reach the key from here. What about the two bolts, the top and the bottom?
Did you leave them undone as well?
I can't honestly remember. I suppose I might have done. It's hard to believe I was once a copper, isn't it?
Now, you said he jumped you when you opened the front door. Now, this may sound stupid, but if he left that way, then it's possible he could have entered that way too.
No. Mum knows under no circumstances whatsoever is she to answer that door.
And why do that?
Oh, to throw us a wobbly, make it look like something it isn't.
Look, this is some piece of scum we're looking for, not a criminal mastermind.
Is there any chance he could have had a key?
You think I stand on the street corner handing them out?
Who has got keys?
I've got a key, Mary's got a key, and Des has got a key.
Des?
The lodger.
Why didn't you tell us about him before?
He went out last night. He never came back.
There's another. Billy Adams. He let himself in with the key.
Now listen, I want you to tell me if you can move. Is anything on top of you, on your arms or your legs?
My leg hurts.
Can you move it? Natasha?
Thunderbird service.
This bloke, Des. He works in a printer's in Campion Avenue. Go around and see him, find out exactly what he was doing last night. I'll talk to Billy Adams.
I'll tell you one thing. He must have disturbed him before he had a chance to look around. There's 50 quid still on the mantelpiece.
Yeah, well, perhaps whoever did this wasn't after money.
Get on to the waterboard town planning. I want plans, blueprints, anything that will give us a way into this place.
From what she's told me, there doesn't seem to be anything lying directly on top of her, but she says she can't move her leg.
Broken.
Sounds like it.
How old is she?
7. That's her sister there.
What about the parents?
Mother's at work, but she's been contacted.
Father?
I don't know how they can let their kids wander around a place like this.
Yeah, well, ours not to reason why.
Just to pick up the pieces,
Still partial to a dram, Ted? It's best go watch.
Just a splash.
I must confess I'm getting more of a taste for this as the years go by.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for the card at Christmas, by the way. It was nice of you to remember.
It's all right. I thought we might have seen something of you. Down at the neck.
Mum really hasn't been well. It's a 24-hour job now. Not much time for socialising.
What about Mary?
She has her own life to lead.
It doesn't always pay to play the martyr, Stan.
No, I know. Well, Mum needs things done certain ways, and you know Mary. Quickest is always best with her.
You said that Billy Adams has worked for you before.
Bit of tiling, the old coat of paint.
You always give him a key?
This was the first time. I was planning a day out today. Taking Mum down to the coast. It's not him, Ted. He'd never do a thing like this. I'd stake my life on that.
Stranger things have happened.
No, I know the lad. He may be a bit slow, but he's got a good heart.
I've heard that before.
Ted, he's kosher. He looks after his own old mum. He wouldn't hurt a fly, believe me.
This isn't going to be easy. The sewer chamber's collapsed.
Thank you. Right, everyone back, please. Come on.
Too much vibration. The whole lot come crashing in.
We're doing everything we can.
But you are going to be able to get her out.
Yes, we'll get her out, but it'll take some time.
Watch out! Stop!
Desmond Francis?
Yeah?
DC Carver. Son of CID, have you got a minute?
Natasha! Natasha, can you hear me? Natasha! Come on, Rob. Give us a sign, scream, cry, anything.
Well, that's it then.
Perhaps she's unconscious.
Oi, stop that! Come on, clear!
Break in? My room, I suppose.
The burglar was disturbed. Nothing was taken.
That's a relief. I've got a vintage record collection in there. Well, if nothing was stolen, what's the problem?
Old Mrs. Thorn was beaten up.
Oh, no, she's 80-odd.
Seems whoever broke in had no respect for age.
It's gonna be all right.
We hope so.
How on earth did they manage to get in? Old Stan keeps that place locked up like Fort Knox.
Good question.
I told you this morning, Mr. Roach, I was just out walking, that's all.
For 2 hours, Billy?
I enjoy walking.
What about the bike?
It doesn't work.
Do you like old Mrs. Thorn?
She has to wear a nappy.
That's because she's not very well, Billy. What do you reckon whoever broke in was after? Huh? No ideas at all? Well, it must have been something. And when we find out what, Billy, then we'll have our man.
Billy! Now you're going to bed, that pot of tea. I'm spitting feathers in here.
Couple of minutes, Mum.
You've got to ask around this place or you don't get.
I can see too.
Vicky, how's your progress? Over? Stick at it. Any sign? But what are the chances?
What's got on your nerves? Having to fetch and carry all day long?
It's not so bad.
Get used to it, eh? Get used to anything, I suppose.
She's my mum.
Doesn't mean you have to be a slave, does it?
She can't manage on her own.
Billy? Billy! You made that tea yet?
Oh, she got some gob on her, hasn't she?
It's not nice being old.
Billy? Did you hear me?
Yeah, I don't think I could put up with too much of that.
She does get on my nerves sometimes.
I bet you wish she'd shut up, eh?
Sometimes.
I bet sometimes you feel like shutting her up, don't you, Billy?
Look at them, all open to see a bit of blood.
Something different, that's all.
There were picnickers at Clapham, do you know that?
Other people's misfortune, always been a big attraction.
Yeah, should get a few buskers in. You do a bit of tap, don't you? When Roe looks like a decent baritone, you could give him a song. Get Hollis down here, take up a collection. Come on, get back, please.
I just hope they get her out alive, that's all.
Ted! It's Des Francis. He told me he was in the club last night, then went home with a friend. Well, I phoned the nightclub. They weren't open last night. In fact, they haven't been open for the last few weeks.
Is that a fact?
This I just do not believe.
Okay, I admit I wasn't at Duke Street last night, but listen, I don't want to get anyone into trouble.
No, you listen. The only one getting into trouble at the moment is you.
I was with a lady. You want to say who?
It would help.
You don't understand, it's a bit awkward.
Somebody's wife, is she?
Not exactly.
But just as complicated. Well, Des, I'm all ears.
Who's next then? Oh, on the house.
You know what you can do with that.
Oh, don't be like that. Listen, how long is this going to last? I mean, if you're going to be here for a stint, I'll give my brother-in-law a shout.
Read my lips, Mr. Tony Bell. Why don't you take your ice cream van and shove it up there?
You going back to the hospital?
Just thought I'd bring her in a few things.
Hop in, I'll give you a lift.
Hope it makes you sick.
You have to wonder, don't you, Ted? I mean, what kind of an animal does that to an old woman?
I gave up wandering a long time ago, Mary. Now I just try and stop them.
I don't know, you've stuck it all these years.
It's not always bad. I've just been chatting to Des Francis.
Oh, yeah?
You know him, do you?
Stan's lodger.
At all?
What do you mean?
Well, first he was telling me that he was at a nightclub last night, and now he's telling me he was with you.
Oh.
Is it true?
Yes.
Why the secrecy?
Stan doesn't really like Des. I was frightened that if he found out, he might turf him out of his room.
But if you two are an item...
I'm getting a divorce from George. He's fighting me for the kids. No, that's all very messy. I can't risk Des moving in, not until it's sorted out.
I'm sure Stan would understand.
Blood's a bit overrated when it comes to affairs in the heart.
Do you help Stan with your mum?
When I can.
I see.
I've got 3 kids, a full-time job, a house to run.
And a young lover.
At your own mother's beck and call 24 hours a day, are you? I do what I can. We all do what we can.
I just want a quick word, that's all. It's her child down there.
A quote will do.
Yeah, I'll give you a quote in a minute.
Look, I have got the right to report the news, you know.
But not to turn it into a circus.
We've all got jobs to do.
Yes, and we're trying to do ours, so come on, would you...
What about a picture?
Why don't I paint you a picture? Come on, now, get out of it.
It's the local press, sir. They want to get closer, take a few pictures.
Look, I'm only thinking of the child's mother. It could put some money in her pocket, especially if the worst comes to the worst.
I'm sure you are, miss, and you can take all the pictures you want, but from behind the tape.
Yes, but the thing is...
Your presence this side is jeopardising the rescue operation. If you don't remove yourself voluntarily, I'll have to ask one of my officers to assist you.
Oh, there was one thing. Mum liked to keep Dad's old medals by her bed, sort of good luck charms. I was going to bring them into her, but I couldn't find them. They're not there. They've probably only been misplaced. They're not worth anything. Well, not much anyway. Just thought I'd mention it. Just in case.
Thanks. Mary. Tell Stan I'll pop round later.
The young girl's name is Natasha Foster, and she's 7 years old. Now, this rescue operation is a joint effort by all the emergency services, and although rather protracted...
Okay, we found her. Let's get them out.
Sierra Oscar to Sierra Oscar 5, are you receiving? Over.
Go ahead, Sue.
Ted, there's a bloke here called Billy Adams. Says he's got to talk to you.
On my way.
Keep going. Yeah, we'll go full stretch. Get the way. Well done.
One snatch from the jaws.
Yeah, but at what price?
Right, that's it, show's over. Break it up. Come on, everybody off home. Come on, be in time for neighbours.
Wingett, that's enough.
I only wanted to borrow them, just to look at, that's all.
Oh, I understand that, Billy. What I can't understand is why you had to hurt poor old Mrs. Thorn.
But I didn't hurt her.
The last time I saw her, she was black and blue, Billy.
I told you that wasn't me.
Who was it?
I don't know. Whoever broke in.
But nobody did break in, Billy. You let yourself in with the keys Stan gave you.
I only went round to put the medals back.
That's very considerate of you.
I swear to you, Miss...
Oh, don't swear, Billy. Don't swear. Everyone swears. It wasn't me. I wasn't there. It was someone else. Be honest, son. You fancied the medals, she tried to stop you, and you thumped her. Just as you'd like to thump your own mum.
No.
Just as you'd like to thump your own mum. Trouble was, you couldn't stop. All those years I've been told, do this, do that. Get me this, get me that. Admit it, Billy. You've been close to the age for a long time. I understand how you feel. I know what it feels like to want to lash out, to hit back. Sometimes it can be overwhelming.
I just went round there to give the medals back, that's all.
How could you give them back before you'd taken them?
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. I borrowed them the day before, not yesterday.
What?
This morning, you said when you'd found out what was missing, you'd know who'd done it. But it wasn't me, Mr. Roach.
What are you trying to say, Billy?
I can't.
You can, you must.
It wasn't my fault. I didn't mean to see it.
See what?
I promised I wouldn't tell.
Promised who?
I don't want to get him into trouble.
Who, Billy? Who don't you want to get into trouble?
Thanks for the tea. Just been on to the hospital. They reckon little Natasha might lose that leg.
I wonder how many ice creams that's worth.
Oh, well, at least they got her out alive, eh?
And the girl from that rag got her story, the TV people got their interview, and the great British public got a good day's entertainment. Everybody won.
How is she?
A little better.
Can I have a word outside?
Problem?
You could say that, yeah.
You want me to guess? Billy. I told you he was an honest lad.
Too honest.
You can never be too honest, Ted.
No, I suppose not. What happened, Stan?
Same thing will happen to all of us one day. Old age. You wouldn't understand.
She's your bloody mother.
Don't get on your high horse with me. Do you know how many years I've looked after her? Slowly watching her getting worse and worse. She's a cabbage, Ted. She's my mother, yes, but she's still a cabbage. She doesn't know who I am, who Mary is. She doesn't even know who she is.
That's no excuse.
I'm not giving you an excuse. I'm trying to tell you why. She wouldn't get out of bed unless I got her out of bed. She wouldn't get dressed unless I dressed her. She wouldn't eat unless I fed her. Her mind's gone. She can't even wipe her own bottom.
You could have got help.
Home, you mean? Stick her away somewhere and pray she dies in her sleep.
I didn't mean that.
Oh, yes, you did.
There must be other ways.
There are no other ways. Our parents, Ted. Our responsibilities. They look after us when we're young. We have to look after them when they're old. Senile dementia. It's a life sentence. There's no time off for good behavior. No deals you can make.
How long's this been going on?
A few months.
Oh, Stan.
Nasty falls, slip in the bath. It was easy to pass off. And of course you convince yourself it'll never happen again. Then one day you're trying to clean her and she won't sit still. You give her a slap. Just a little slap. But she still won't sit still. So you hit her a little harder. And she still won't sit still. And tears of frustration are rolling down your cheeks and she still won't sit still. And you're shouting, hitting and hitting. Hitting. Old friends, eh, Ted? What do you do with them?